Louisa here from Connecting Over Coffee, and today is Travel Tip Tuesday, and I'm going to be giving you 5 tips on how to get around New York City. Tip number 1, ride the Staten Island Ferry. If you find it hard to get tickets to the Statue of Liberty, which trust me, they are hard to get, ride the Staten Island Ferry. It's free. You'll be sailing right past the statue, and you'll have these gorgeous views of downtown Manhattan and the Brooklyn Bridge. It's totally worth the ride there and back, especially if it's like late spring, summer, or even early fall. Like those are perfect times to go. The weather, because it gets kind of cold in the water, so those are really good times to go. Tip number 2, don't be afraid to ask New Yorkers for directions or advice. Most people think that New Yorkers are rude, and we are not. There's been plenty of times when I've given people directions when they've asked me. I've even escorted people to places because, it just happened to be maybe on my way. And it really wasn't a trouble to just kind of show them around. Always approach them nicely, but don't be afraid. We understand our city can be confusing, and trust us, we know that there's a lot of people that are coming to see it. Tip number 3. Oh my God, let me do it again. Tip number 3. If it's summer and you're in New York City, have a picnic at Governor's Island. Governor's Island is a little island just off of the Manhattan Island and right next to Brooklyn. The ferry doesn't cost as much. I think it's like $2, maybe $2 or $5 just for the ferry, but it's really inexpensive and totally, absolutely worth it. The boat ride itself, I can tell you it's under 5 minutes. So you'll be there in no time. And it's a small island, has a ton of history behind it, from being a fort, a base. Now it's just kind of like a recreational island for people. They have tons of events that go on this summer, so definitely check it out. Go online, see what events are happening. We even have like the annual jazz festival that happens there. But mostly it's just a really beautiful place to like ride bikes. They have the city bikes that you can actually rent out there. They also have just bikes that you can rent. There's like actual places where you can rent a bike or a golf cart. I've totally done that. But it's perfect if you want to have like a romantic date, just, or whatever. Have a picnic, bring some wine, cheese, the usual. Tip number 4, the Roosevelt tram. If you're not afraid of heights, this is one of the best ways to get the go-to shot of New York City, like Midtown Manhattan. The Roosevelt tram is on 59th Street and 2nd Avenue. You definitely can just use your MetroCard, swipe, and you can find yourself on Roosevelt Island, which is also a gem worth exploring. But for the views of Manhattan, it's just spectacular. So definitely I recommend it. It's just another way to see Manhattan. Tip number 5, the MoMA. The MoMA is free on Fridays after 3 p.m. It's absolutely hands down worth it to go. It's going to be crazy. Crazy as in like there's going to be a lot of people there, and there's definitely going to be a line. But if you have the time and you don't exactly have the budget to spend $25 on a museum visit, that's the way to do it, because the MoMA has priceless works of arts, like anything from like Van Gogh to Picasso to Pollock, like the masterpieces. Starry Night from Van Gogh, who's my idol, dwells there. You have to check it out. So those are my 5 tips. If you have any other tips that you'd like to put in, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you next time, and stay traveling.